Hey, good day. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Champ Sports with me, Champ. What an absolute pleasure to have you back on the channel. So, it finished Kaizer Chiefs 4, Supersport United 0. Kaizer Chiefs 4, Supersport United 0. I'll give you my thoughts, my reflections on the game. Yeah. So, first of all, we meet Mamelodi Sundowns in the quarterfinal. That's the weekend of the first and 3rd of November. So that's gonna be a great game. Looking forward to it. Payback, as it were. So, getting back to the game on Saturday evening. Before I do that, please like the content, like the channel, subscribe, hit the notification button, ding dong, so that you know as and when I go, I go live and upload videos and that sort of thing. And most importantly, because this is an interactive channel, leave your comments on the comment section, telling me your thoughts and that sort of thing. So, first thing to say is this, and this might sound a bit controversial or a bit iffy, but I'll just land it for what it is. I don't think we really played that well on Saturday evening. Honestly, we didn't really play that well. And here's the other thing: at no point in that game, okay, let me rephrase that. The only time we started having a semblance of control in that game, it was after the third goal. We didn't have control in that game. I mean, Supersport, they could, and they should have been 2 or 3 goals up before we scored our first goal. So good result, but the performance solid, but it lagged control. We coughed up many chances. Our defending, our set piece defending wasn't that great. We didn't look after the ball. We kept on losing it, and losing it like childishly, very soft. Like I said, we didn't. Our two midfield players, Zwane and Mart, you know, they were always, it just seemed they were being caught so many times ahead of the ball instead of behind the ball. You know what I mean? So Super Sport, good result by the way, but I just felt that we lacked control of the game. You know what I mean? And that is something we should work for. We should work hard towards addressing that sort of thing. And let's start from the back, moving upfield. For all of what's his name, Fiacre and Douar, I think there are massive question marks on him now. He doesn't fill you with confidence. Every time the ball comes close to him, every time they pass it back to him, he looks a bag of nerves. You know what I mean? So imagine if we're feeling this way, sitting in the stands or watching on TV. Imagine the players, the back four that is playing behind. Imagine how they are feeling, because it doesn't fill you with confidence, man. It does not have that assurity that you need from a goalkeeper. That oh, he's calm, he's got things, he's handling things. No need to panic, that sort of thing. That's the thing about him. His handling is very shaky as well. I mean, there was that ball that nearly went through his legs. You know what I mean? In between his legs. So I don't know. The jury's still out on him. I'm not yet convinced about him. The back four, Cross and Frosler are all endeavor. They are hardworking. They'll run up and down the channels, that sort of thing. Quality, you know what? Technical quality, not the best. They work hard, you know, they'll do a job, you know what I mean? But in terms of quality on the ball, not not really that quality on the ball, but they'll do their jobs. I'll give you that. The two centre backs, Miguel and what was the other centre back? Remind me in the chat, people. Remind me in the comments. What's the other centre back? Uh, Gosh, imagine that. I completely forgot. Oh, Dudley. Dudley, sensational. He is absolutely sensational. He's a ball playing centre back, a left footed centre back. He is brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And Miguel, he is sort of our sweeper. He mops up everything. Bit physical. He's a physical centre back. He's the one that organizes at the back. He's a leader. You can tell he's a leader, and he should be the future captain. I'm predicting before the season ends, he'll be the captain. You know, the club captain. Yeah. So our two centre backs, they were a bit off and iffy when it was Supersport set piece, especially corner kicks. They didn't fill me with confidence. How we never considered in from one of those corner kicks is beyond me, because that fella Tazriq from Supersport, the bearded guy, he had so many chances, about three or four, which he should have at least buried one. You know what I mean? The two in front of the back four. Let's start with Zwane. Look, he's still a kid. He is not, one of the great attributes about a defensive midfielder is this: the less you see of him, the more it tells you he's working very well and quietly working very well. So he gives me those vibes. You know what I mean? He can he can do better in terms of looking after possession when he gets possession. What I like about him is he keeps it simple. He receives, he passes it. He receives, passes it, gets into space to receive and pass it. That's the sign of a good defensive midfielder. You know what I mean? And the other thing is this: a good defensive midfielder is not always, you get people that are sliding, they just look busy, sliding, getting into tackles and all that thing and all those things. They're really great defensive midfielders. They have mastered the art of positioning themselves, anticipation, knowing where the ball is likely to go and them being there. You know what I mean? So their tackle count is not massive, but their interceptions, because they know where the ball is. They've got this sixth sense where the ball is gonna be. Therefore, they know where to be at in order to intercept that. You know what I mean? So he's still young. He can do better in terms of looking after the ball. You know, he obviously can do better in terms of communicating, because at the base you need someone who can communicate. Yes, he's still young, so in time he'll get that confidence to be a louder voice, directing people, getting them where to, directing play there in front of the centre backs. He's a bit more technically gifted than Yusuf Mat, so that is a big plus for him. You know what I mean? So I'm very confident in terms of Zwane. As for Mart, look, one is, let's forget this idea of asking him or involving him in build up play. He's not comfortable receiving the ball on the half turn, with an attacker behind him, just to play it around the corner, play it back, or play it that way. He's not comfortable in that. It's not his game. He's all in depth. I mean, I had a conversation, well, just a little slight discussion on X with one Amakosi fan, telling me about, he has attitude. Gosh, Attitude. This is the captain of the club. This is someone. This is a guy who's meant to be playing. Is a professional football player. That's the least you deserve. You expect from a professional football player. Attitude, the right attitude. How about quality? I said to this person, we need quality there, and he simply does not have the quality to play in there. Yes, he's got heart. He'll run around and do all these things, but you need quality to play in that position. Quality to receive the ball on the half turn, to play it. Quality and confidence to get your foot on the ball and begin to play. Quality to be press resistant. The great midfield players are all press resistant, and he's not. In that position, just like with Samke Lozwane, you need a guy who is press resistant. Matt is not. Like I said, let's get him nowhere near build and play. And the other thing is he's just everywhere, man. He runs around too much. That position needs someone with discipline. He's too busy. Yeah, you might say no. He has to play the box to box role. Why? Because one, yes, I know he scored, but now his output. If you're going to say, give him the number 8 role, his output is not good enough for the 8 role. Hey, his defensive discipline is not good enough. He's not good enough on the ball. Technically, very poor. Like I said, he's not press resistant. And all good midfielders share one trait in common: great press resistance. You know? So that's the two in midfield. Sereno, he's been asked to float around. You'll find him on the left, you'll find him in the middle, you'll find him on the right, you'll find him behind the striker, you'll find him ahead of the striker at times, but he's basically been asked to move around. The thing that gets to me about him is he comes across as a bit of a hothead. It doesn't take much to rile him up, you know what I mean? And those things are not good enough. You need this, especially the guys playing up front. They're still young guys, so you need someone with a mature head to who they can look up to. And he's got quality on the ball, not like amazing quality, but he's got quality on the ball for a player playing in South Africa in the Betway Premier League, in that role. So look, put it this way: he's an upgrade on what we had last season. He's our best player going forward. You know what I mean? You know, great goal, by the way. You know, taking it on his right, cutting inside, and hitting it on his left, where the goalkeeper was coming from. So that's a great goal from him. Man of the match, they gave him man of the match. I'm not quite sure about that, to be honest with you. And then Duba. He's a hard worker. I'll tell you that. I'll give you that. Hard worker. He'll track his man. Back to our 18-yard area. He'll help. Frosler at right back as well. He'll do the hard work. But I can't recall even once him getting the ball and beating his man. Whether driving on the outside or driving inside to get a shot away. I can't recall taking his man one on one. And when you play the position he's been asked to play, right wing, right of a front three, you must have the courage, the confidence, the quality to face up to your man, who is the left back, and take him on. I mean, we've got a big guy up front in Shivaviro, I'll come to later on. Take your man, take him to the byline, cross it, take him in, cross it, or hit it, test the goalkeeper. I don't recall him ever doing that. What I recall him doing was he worked very hard going that way, up and down that way. But but taking on his man, nothing. You know. Do look. There's a point. He had a decent game, very decent game. He's still young, so well. In terms of years, is young, but look, we got a guy like Yamin Lamal who is 17 years old, ripping it up in La Liga, ripping it up in the Euros. So the argument about him being young at 19 or what, however old is moot. You know what I mean? Um, Look, does he beat his man playing that position just behind the striker? Is he creative enough? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's one thing just running around and looking busy, but how about when you get on the ball, show us your quality. Him showboating, that's so unnecessary, and that's the reason why he won't make it. Um, and go overseas and whatnot. If he must cut down on that nonsense, on those things are unnecessary, man. So unnecessary. And you get people lapping it up in the ground at the ground, yo, cheering. So unnecessary. Man. Doesn't achieve anything. Played one or two passes, but he's still a bit lightweight. But put it this way: at best, I thought he had a decent game. At best, nothing out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? Nothing too flashy. Just it's to just I'd say 6.5 out of 10. You know, and then Chivaviro up top, giving it the big one after he scores. So wasteful. That is a battle he's never gonna win if he's gonna take on the fans. He's not gonna win. He should have scored that first off chance. He should have buried it every day of the week, twice on a Sunday. How he didn't is a joke. To be honest with you. Um, he got his goal. Fair play to him. The chance he scored, he converted, was more difficult than the chance he missed. You know what I mean? In the second half, they play. There's a cross that came in, and all he had to do was to head it where it came from. Guess what he did? He headed that way, outside. The coach, he's been bagged by the coach. I'll give him that. But honestly, I don't think he's good enough. I'm not convinced. I don't think he's good enough. Honestly, we need an upgrade on him. To be fair, to be honest with you, he's not good enough. What's it now? 3, 4 goals, but still, he's not good enough. You know. But look, a win is a win. 4-0. Didn't play. We were not outstanding. We were not that great. Um, Supersport had chances, like I said. Should have scored 2 or 3 before we scored. Didn't have control in the game. until about our third goal we scored. Yeah. As for the coach, he's got the fan base aroused. He's got the fan base going. He's got the fan base believing. The players are starting to get a sense of belief. They are not entirely, they haven't entirely, I admit it's only about what, 4 or 5 games, give or take, 5, 6. So it's still early doors, but you can see, he's building the confidence of the players, getting more, getting them to believe more in themselves and in the system and in the tactics, that sort of thing. He's got the fan base well and truly behind him, so that's a great positive. So all we can do is upwards and onwards. We meet, like I said, we meet Supersport this coming in our next game for the league, and we meet Sundowns in 2 weeks' time in the quarterfinal. That's gonna be a humdinger, a banger time, a chance to get our revenge. You know what I mean? If we approach that Sundowns game the way we approached the last 35 minutes, 40, 35 minutes of the league game, I think we do that. I think we win that game. You know what I mean? So, those are just my thoughts. Please leave your thoughts and comments on the comments field. Tell me what you think. And remember, like I said, do not, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell as well, ding dong, that sort of thing. And like I said, it's very important because this is an interactive channel. Leave your comments and thoughts on the comments field. Till next time, rise Kosi, I'm a Kosi for life. Look after yourself, folks. Cheerio.